Today I was wanting to make a video for you about turning your drum hits into key groups to be able to play them chromatically. Now this is pretty essential in a lot of hip hop music, a lot of rap music, but you can use it in other forms of music too, and it's really important for the bass. But key groups are a pretty important function that apply to a lot of different things, but we'll start out by doing a bass. So if you like and appreciate what I'm doing, it takes me a little bit of time to set these videos up, so if you could just like and subscribe. Looks like we got an airplane going over us. That's fine. That's part of making music live and outside. But like and subscribe to the channel. Also click the link below if you would like to do a Google meetup with me, and I can help you out with making beats live on your own PC professionally. Okay, so let's just hop right into it. So I have this kit right here. If you can hear, this drum right here has a lot of decay, and it has that 808. This one right here doesn't have as much decay, so it punches through. So let's just go ahead and get started so I can show you what I mean. So that sounds a little weird. We can go in the arranger, choose that, slide that over. Okay, that sounds a little better to me. That sounds like a good basis to our kick. So this kick here, short, but with this kick, what we want to do is we want to play it chromatically to give it that nice wobbling feeling. So let's go over here. Let's go to track edit. Now track edit is where you're gonna be able to affect and organize your drum programs. So let's go into the samples, click here, we're on this. But what we need to do is let's stop everything. If we go up in this corner right here, press the plus piano, now we have, see, we were in track 1, now there's a whole new track, and it's a whole key group devoted for this sound. So let's see what that sounds like. So initially, we're gonna be really high up in the banks, which is gonna be a really high octave. So let's listen to how it sounds. It's kind of crazy. That might be a cool sounding lead, honestly. But let's go down, because we were trying to do a bass, so we want a really low sound. Now that's almost too low. So let's go here. So one thing that I like to do, you don't have to be too much of a stickler for it, but what I want to do is I want to have everything playing in key if I can. So let's go back to the track edit. Oh, let's go back to track 1, and let's go to the track edit. This is our second kick. It says it's in F minor. So what we can do is let's go here, and we can pick the actual scale of what we're playing the kick drum. So let's go in here, and let's put it on F minor. I don't know, you don't have to have everything in key. With auto-tune and things are always in key. Sometimes it's nice when things sound out of key, but it's fun if we can make it sound in key. So let's hear this sounds. Okay, so that sounds pretty good to me. So let's go in and let's do overdub. See, I actually screwed up. I want to double the length. I want it to be 4 bars, not just 2. So that sounds really good to me. That sounds a little off. Okay, that part sounds off. I know why, so let's move it over. Let's go to time control. Let's throw a little bit of groove in there. I think that sounds a little off too. That sounds a little bit off. Okay, that sounds good to me. So what I think I need to do now, let's go over here, and we're gonna go to the first drum kit, and there's, if you click this button in the middle, it's gonna give you the tracks of all of the different sounds within the drum kit. So if we go to the effects, we're gonna go to dynamics, and we're gonna put the Mother Ducker input on here. And I have a video, check it out, about doing sidechain compression. But any music that I do, I wanna have sidechain compression on the kick and the bass. It just gives everything a groove that's really great. So let's go here, and now we're on track number 2. Let's go to effects, and let's introduce the Mother Ducker itself. And let's listen how this sounds. So when that initial short decay kick comes in, it punches through, and the 808 kick that has that delay, it follows through, and it just gives it a fatter feel, which is great. So what we could do, we could go in here, and we have a good start. We could just play it like that. But I think we can take it a step above. So what we can do is, let's go back to the track edit, and here we have this clap. So let's go into the clap, let's click the plus. So now we're on track 3. So now I can play everything chromatically. Let's see what we get. So that's cool. That gives a level of movement that, you know, sometimes you listen to beats, you're like, how the heck did they do that? So kind of can take something that's really basic, and it can create something out of your samples, playing drums melodically. Okay, so we did that. Now let's go in here. Let's go back to track 1. And right here we just have a basic hi-hat. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna play this hi-hat chromatically. So again, it's pretty easy now. Let's go back. So we're in the main menu, we press menu, we go to track edit, and when we're in track edit, we click on the sample that we desire. Oh my gosh, there's lots of planes coming in. It's fine, it's part of making music outside. So we click on the piano tool here. Now when we go out, we're gonna be on track 4, which is great. So now, everything we're playing, it's playing it chromatically. So we're gonna wanna get a lot more variation, so let's double the length to now it's 8 bars. Let's press Shift, note repeat, and now it's gonna allow us to play either in 1/16th, 1/32nd, 1/64th, or triplets. It's really fun. So let's press overdub, and let's just play around, and let's see what we can get. So that to me already has a really great feeling. We could wrap this video up right now. Let's press save, project as. We're not gonna wrap it up right now. We're gonna do it later. But let's go into MPC samples. I'm gonna save it as 128. It's in F minor, so let's say it's an F minor. And let's call it Lake Union, because Lake Union and downtown Seattle is behind me. So let's go here. Say do it, let's save. Let's go into the channel mixer. Sometimes hats sound a little bit too loud. So to show you the effect that we did, you know, there's a lot of really cool 808 synth plugins that you could use but we already have our bass now that we're playing the bass as though it were the bass synthesizer. And again, as I was saying earlier, the possibilities are endless because you could sample in the sounds of an espresso machine, you could sample in the sounds of birds, dogs barking, all sorts of different things, load it in, get a one shot, and then play it back as a key group. But let's go in and let's just add in a piano. I think that'll sound nice. So let's go in, and just to give you the effect of, now we're playing this with melodic sounds, and let's see if it sounds good. Let's see if I did this right. Okay, so let's go here, and we're going to hype, but I want a piano. So we'll go here, let's say classic E piano. Let's change it from F minor, just a scale, to a key. So we're gonna go in, and let's just play around and see how this sounds. The thing is, I don't even want to record it in because I'm having so much fun. So I'm going to add one more synthesizer to make sure that this video isn't too long. Let's go ahead and record this in, and I'll show you one more synthesizer. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's add the Mother Ducker sidechain compression on the piano. I noticed pads and pianos sound good. You might want to mess around with the effect. Sometimes it can crush it too much and it gives it too much pumping, but a little bit of pumping is good. So let's go into Mother Ducker. That sounds good to me. I think that one note is off though. You'll notice I'm not the best pianist in the world, but it's really easy. Choose it, slide it over. Listen to what you're doing. I think it's that one. So let's click on that one, scoot that over. I think that one might need to be scooted over the other way. Sounds off to me. Let's scoot in and see what exactly is going on here. I think it has to do with, I had it on 1/16 notes whenever I was doing the note repeat, so let's go in. Let's let it loop around. Okay, that sounds better to me. So let's go here, let's add one more track. We're gonna say plug in. I really like the OPX4. I was thinking about going through and doing videos specifically on the synthesizers that come in the MPC, just to talk about them, just to help me understand them better, but also I think they're kind of fun and they're great. Okay, so let's press arm record. The OPX4 is cool because it's an FM synthesizer, and I think it sounds really cheesy and kind of 80s in a really fun way. I like a lot of the leads in here because they sound weird, but sometimes that sounds really bad, but sometimes it sounds good. So let's play around and let's mess around with the noises. Yeah, so I took the chord off and now it's just the key. started that, I didn't like the way it sounded, but then after a second, I thought, hey, that actually sounds really cool. So I think that kind of sounds like a whale. I like that. So I don't want this video to go too long, but I do think that I need to add another synthesizer on top of this to make it complete. So let's go here. Let's go back to the OPX4. Let's go back to the leads. I think that lead's cool, but it's kind of a lazy lead. So sounds good to me. So what I can do for just playing things live, we can go in here, press time control, time division. And we can just test things out, bringing them in and out. And we could load this up to play a live song later. Did the last video about organizing things for live sets. Go check that video out. So yeah, I think that's an important thing to do whenever you're making music. You want to stack your loops up, but it makes sense to chisel everything out to hear the way that everything would sound. The great thing about this is that I can turn the mixing experience into a live, more musical experience, which feels really great and makes me really happy. So I think we're right at about 20 minutes and I want to wrap this video up. If you liked what I did, please like, subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. I put a lot of effort, sent all these cameras and everything up, finding really great spots here in Seattle to make music. If you have a really great spot in Seattle you want me to make music, comment below. It's hard for me to find a desk like this that has beautiful views in the backgrounds. But if you see one, particularly something like this, please let me know. If you want, we have the Google Meet where I can teach you how to use your MPC Live 2 professionally. If you want to do a Google Meet with me for an hour, click the link below. We can set that up. I really appreciate you all checking out this video. And you know I got way more videos headed your way soon. Thank you so much.